into that raise because of that, how far you could get in comparison to the Jet. Well, Waylay has that in his locker, but also combining that with Astra utility, having the Viper alongside it as well. I think it's going to be a better composition for mates. At the same time, though, FUT have never been about their compositions. They've always been about, let's play comfort, let's see what works for us.
Excited to see from some of these mates players. Obviously, we talked a lot about comeback, but Vekaj and Prox, potential there. Vekaj in the off-season event Game Fest was on fire for this squad up against Na'Vi, and we'll see if he can carry through to that main stage down here in VCT Emea. Some of that same flair. Prox as well, playing through so many of the historic German teams. And I think Eintracht who have, you know, Looker, Buha, or used to at least.
Of course you bring up Looker within a matter of minutes.
Hey, listen, he's my boy. He's my boy. Oh. But this is a big chance for him, and certainly is more of a newcomer to the scene. Some of these new guns that we've seen on this stage have been playing since 2020, whereas Prox is a much newer face.
Yeah, someone that hasn't been through, like you said, a load of different teams, but has managed to make it to the Tier 1. Now we get to see what they have to offer. Of course, for FUT, a lot more mainstay players. Mates have already been taking this one relatively slow. We've seen the Gecko already become a popular choice on this. They're wrapping around the back of the side, though, looking to try and find some of these fights, grouping up in a death ball, but they've ended up in a bit of a crossfire, but they've done incredibly well from it.
It's a deep push for mates. A plant now as well towards the back of the site. They haven't taken that space, though. Still sitting inside lamps, but limited utility to deal with it. Yedege sitting in the orb. He's taken all the decay just to try to catch them off guard, but no one steps in. A patient display from mates as the time ticks away and the pressure on these final two players. The tap comes in. Someone needs to clear it, and a big swing gets Yedege 1. 11 health left on Mr. Fallen, though, and he's all alone. Vekaj to dominate those final two battles, and mates to walk away with the pistol. They've gotten rid of him. Also being the standout performer in most of the matches that FUT have played against Gentlemates. So this could be an opportunity to right the wrongs of history. And already it started out with Zeus on the ground, down and out of the round.
Be sat there watching, and you can't win this round without me, without my power. But no, they've grouped up in lamps, at least a couple. The rest coming in on the flank. Comeback, though, looking to be the anti-eco king. And while the wrap back around, it might catch one. It seems like Vekaj.
Oh, no.
We're not going to replay that, guys. Just in case anybody was wondering, that's not going in a replay.
There's no way Andy would put that in. No, you got no ammo left. Come back. He sprayed all the bullets. That's
also not going in the replay.
Oh, this has gone from bad to worse.
We're not replaying anything after this round.
No replays. Straight to the agents. Are the agents select, though? The weaponry buy.
Wow, you're a little bit behind.
Let's restart the game. Let's go from scratch. I think mates would take that deal at this point. They got their pistol. A good amount of damage already done. The weapons lost, retrieved by their opponents, and they'll look for some exits. The chances for mates to convert those ghosts into actual weaponry looking pretty low. That fight from Mini, though, well, that's going to at least secure the Bulldog back into their hands.
2-0 nonetheless. Comeback already looking for that early fight, but he's been dealt with by Zeus. The battle of the Turkish superstars, the duelists that we've wanted to see face off against each other for a while. But there's still a lot of rifles to play with. They played that bonus round relatively well in terms of the finances. It's disjointed, but Kamek can't quite correct. And more importantly, that's the spike. He's took the fight alone, and he's delivered them. Well, I was going to say delivered them the spike, but actually they've fallen off. They've given that up.
Still a golden opportunity. Utility needs to be used to get back in there. We'll start out with your Astro Smoke down. Prox recovering the spike. 2v4, though.
Shutting them down.
FUT making no mistakes, not stepping forward into the fray. We're gonna have to run through these choke points. Time starts to tick a little bit lower. 30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left.
Now finally group up. Both players still relatively healthy. It's at least something, but that didn't last too long. A few shots onto Vekaj makes this much more difficult. With those spams through the smoke being very dangerous indeed. Already the tap comes through, an attempt to bait out utility, but ultimately it just runs the sands of time lower. 8 seconds, it needs to be committed soon. Smokes fade, and so too do the chances for mates in this round.
Yeah, a controlled looking foot. I think
The pressure for Veka is pretty huge. He's been around a long time. He's worked his way to this stage. He's represented historic French orgs like 3D Max, who some of the best have played for. But now he's on Gentlemates, a squad that many a Frenchman would sacrifice everything for. This is a sneaky play by Mini. The IGL's the one to open the round up.
Solid start. Cned'i left somewhat isolated. You do have cracks around the angle, and a man who's, oh, okay, never mind. Prox has got lost. Not realizing what angle was left open, and losing your Astra in a post-plant is always going to be devastating. Mini has done incredibly well, though. Someone who takes that IGL as more of a leader by example than maybe the mastermind behind the whole operation. Come back with another, and Cracks and Yeni are trying their best, but look at the HP. Down to just 4 health. And he has no choice but to scurry away. And I kind of wanted to, so just before, on what you said about Vekaj, you have to bear in mind as well that similarly to what we talked about with Apex yesterday, if they finish in the bottom 4, they are out. So he has the pressure of, you're trying to keep one of the French organizations in the whole league.
Looking the other way, finding a gap, using the paranoia to slow the push, but Mini was dealing with him. And that's the thing that you have to say for Mini, taking up that IGL mantle. He has not sacrificed individual performance for it, nor will he in this fight, as he takes the first and the second before going down. It takes the majority of FUT squad to deal with that man, and all the while, that space on the B side, wide open.
They saw Mr. Farland, but he also doesn't really have the weaponry to do anything about it. Cracks in Yeni, however, on this flank will do, but I like what mates are doing. They're re-aggressing into angles. Ooh, I was going to say, it needs to be careful from Vekaj, but he's won that fight anyway. Really feeling confident in his own individual ability, and while with Comeback trying to hone in on that angle, the screen at least will give Yeni a little bit of space.
Toxin screen down.
Reveal as well, there's the info, good spray, but Vekaj clinging onto life in that corner. Now he's got backup. Yeni surrounded, maybe thinking about carrying the weapon forward, but it is only a thought.
It's very good for information, but a lot of the time you won't see the crazy impact you'd hope from it. So just sending it through to make sure, okay, we keep this convergence path and the Nightfall can do a hell of a lot in terms of clearing a site.
Back in a flat, hitting the brakes.
Already Comeback's going to be taking the space, or at least he thought. He'd suppressed quickly. Crack's going to delay that deeper push that might have gotten him the info of what's behind the wall. Will be used here, but incorrectly. He doesn't make it up onto the box. Doesn't get that annoying angle to play with as Prox goes sprinting through Bath. That's all the space that FUT had retreated into. And now they've got the pit up, activated. And it's good for the spike. The difference is mates have taken that pit to deny some control towards Lambs, to take that backside in towards the spawn. That's a brave play from Vekaj. He survives it, but the decay on Comeback leaves him so low. He drops 2. The pit alongside it. The round done as a result. Cned'i sprinting away with the op in hand, but he's already got someone cutting him off. The sniper on the other side. The shots, they don't land at the start. He'll survive on 30 HP, carry that op into the next. But a heavy price paid here, and the round still going to...
The op actually works out very well. He's not taking it from a guy who wants it, at least.
Talking about 10s, but I mean, it just screams Eccles to me. I love to see it. Rolling back the years. The Omen operator. It was always a treat to watch. When's he coming back?
Anyway, there was plenty of comparisons you can make. That was one of them. I'm sure Eccles will be very happy for it.
Absolutely.
To be compared to Cned'i.
Might not be happy with your response to it.
No, but again, I'm okay with that.
Oh, wow.
I'm in my bitter era. 5-4 in terms of the players standing.
Toxins going up.
I'm going to try and make a move back. Yeni is desperately low, has a good read onto Mini. But the team, they're tracking him down. There's still another player to deal with, though, and Cracks has already managed to find them. Yeah, it's not... Oh, no! What a 4K from Cracks! Woo! It's holding.
Yeah, they've not over-rotated on this one. Certainly more numbers on the other side of the map, but still Cned'i's operator to contend with. The big investment from FUT in the previous round, they very much needed, and Krax has bailed them out of a very bad situation that would have been mates miles ahead. It would still a buy on the other side, and smokes down. Cned can't do much. Can't take that much of a risk, but comeback clearly can. That was an audacious move, and one that he's punished for. Double push on the back though. The tall box has 2 players, and the off doesn't land its shot. FUT though still in with an opportunity. The trades keep coming back in the other direction, and Mini, ever reliable in those battles, has found them the advantage. Now they have a choice on that defensive side, risking the operator, their entire economy on the brink for so many of these players. Could be worth just hanging on to. They want to try to find an opportunity, and it will be Yeni that decides this as he goes down. There's no choice left. Cned tries to get out of here, and it looks like he'll make it. The rounds climbing up in favor of Gentlemates. This is a great start to Bind.
Yeah, no, they've been doing very well, playing the rotations, not overcommit.
The problems for Mates. This round, they want to start by selling a fake towards that A site, and a big part of it is comeback, being able to dive in, use his refract. That's his little TP ability to get in and get out. Of course, buffed since the last time that, well, last time many of you would have seen Waylay in play. Now it's, I think it's 0.15 seconds, the same as a chamber TP. So you become invulnerable very, very quickly. But that knife has been landing from Krax every single time. And now a bit of a change. As Mini's been punished, his early fights have been so solid. They're going to play this one without the Viper, and the fake has not worked. There's still players here. Cned, though, he goes down. Only one for Zeus, but he's picked out of the sky, and comeback dives deep into the back of the site for the advantage.
Yeah, when a showstopper is used, you'd normally expect to come out with an advantage, but instead, again, the attack have traded so effectively. Mr. Fallen has ult available, but just looks for a dry fight, and that's not something you want to be doing against comeback. Vekaj as well, already watching, but he will lose the battle. Caught moving. The problem, though, is the time, Mitch. Like, realistically, from this point onwards, there's no way he wins this round.
Now, you upgrade that weapon and carry it through to the next. It's the best decision for Yeni, but
he might not.
Might not be so easy. Come back, blocked out by the wall. That gets Yeni deep into the spawn, and now, as long as he plays his cards right, should be an easy.
Was their ability to pacily hit into sites. It means that we kind of have higher expectations on the attack. Paranoia, solid. But they will be slowed down. Convergence path even thrown in as well. But I'll be interested to see if they actually execute off it. It may not even matter, because Prox has done enough already.
1 versus 4. It seems like you're left in these positions so often, and Mates landing these duels consistently. They're even going to close out the round this time. Nothing carried forward for FUT from bad to worse.
I can't shoot you for the next half a second. Yeni, though, we're finally starting to see some success, but immediate responses! It's comeback and Vekaj. That wasn't all him. That kill was a teammate. But dear Lord, every advantage FUT has comes crumbling down.
And they're even being watched here. Vekaj lost the battle to a Bulldog before, and he'll lose it again. That's the numbers even. Mr. Fallen even has the ultimate to clear space in towards this site. TP used by Cned. From the shadows, he's emerged in the bathrooms, and comeback about to be revealed. In fact, they both are. Cned can now strike. He can make all the steps he wants, knowing that these players can't hear a damn thing, but the flash reveals him. Blind is good, and that'll get him Kamek. 30 HP as he taps the defuse, but it's not being stuck. Comeback jumping in, sees that, and he's caught with the spam. It started out in favor of FUT. It looks like it will end that way. Time low, but not quite low enough. 3 rounds on the board. And how that can play a role, even seen in the interview earlier, obviously he has the translator as well, but doesn't have one on the server. Evidently doesn't need one. The guy knows the game well enough. 5v5 to start. FUT battling for that 4th round. It would be a recovery on an otherwise underwhelming half, the TP taken, and they have just swapped positions with the defenders entirely. This defense is a facade that's quickly fading.
It's got to be very confusing for Mates. But they are now slowly making the realization, and Kamek definitely has. That's all the information he could ever need. Zeus has won the battle, but the flash up, they'll swing it, but there's still one more to deal with. They didn't expect another player to be there. Prox, he's been revealed. And they're now being closed in. This is a tough point to fight from, but crispy aim once again.
Last
Final note, drawing close on this half for FUT. It has finally come into their favor. 2 in a row, right as the final bell tolls. Taking that control, but not for free. There's a group up on short. All of the players on this side of the map. 4 stacked up and ready to battle. Mates take the openings. Even eliminate comeback just as he attempts to TP out of there. The refract cancelled in mid-action. Instead, it's very quick to activate now. But FUT were that little bit faster. Still, the spike is down and very much being secured by that defensive side.
Looking to just try and stick this one out together. It's definitely not going to be easy. Kamek as well, just set up with a flash in hand, but a little bit nervous about the edge of that smoke. Mini's also gone down. The reveal will find cracks, but still no picks to be had. And they know someone's within the smoke, but still haven't been able to deal that final blow just yet. FUT have managed to make this competitive, but they're very low.
There's no utility to fight back through this. If Crack still had a flash, then popping it out would be very powerful. But all he has to work with is the knife. A smoke coming back online for Cned'i. Again, opens this gap, and he waits a while to use it. The idea being that their smoke will fade. They can take that space up close, but now time is low! And so are the numbers on FUT. A phenomenal pistol round from
FUT, where that hasn't necessarily been the case. You know the individual skill is there, but they are being beaten at the team game.
Bekash up against Classics, and he's already tripled up. A beautiful fight for this man.
Slow-mo.
That's an easy closer. Comeback even got to hit a second shot with that Marshall. Just thanks to the stun going through. 10 to 4.
This was a pick of Mates. I'd say great work, but it's the pick of FUT, so if anything, it's great work, but also you've got to be a little bit worried for the Turkish squad that this really has not gone to plan.
This rifle round, one of the last hopes for the attacking side. Mates are nearing victory. Shadows stretching thin here. On this map, on their pick, you have to now see that spark ignited again for them. Clearing out those positions on backside, they found Bekash in the open. Nice pick for Cned'i. That's the opener they need. That's the plant secured. And I've got a flanker coming all the way around, which is Kamek.
He's tagged so
gonna
many
be here
players. Oh! Okay, the tags were meaningless. Sure, a couple of assists come through, but Mini is flying. Another triple. And well, now FUT have got to be feeling nervous. He's waiting for Kamek. He's giving him the space and time to wrap around, and that was the right call. Now they can figure out the position of Yetaje in a matter of moments already. That spike is beginning to be diffused. All they need to do to defend it. Oh, well, Mates. Well, I say Mates, the 2 Mates. They have the extra finances after winning that. They've even baited him into the battle, but with his util fading away, he's not going to re-aggress, he's not going to overface.
Even a round like this, we've seen FUT win many a time. Oh, that's a freebie to open. That's Mini down as well. The player who's been there every single time for Gentlemates. The Kamek, he's still on fire after that previous. He's looking to go through with the wingman. The Mosh fired in, he follows it up.
I'm out of stars.
And ends up losing his life. And another fall.
Okay.
The retrieved weapon for FUT, finding so much value. And the spike already on this A site for free.
That's one of the better opportunities they've had.
Spike planted.
But these clutch scenarios have pretty much all been one-way traffic. The players of Mates have been coming up big, but it's the less experienced ones that stand. Bekash and Prox try and turn this back, and it's not pretty from Prox, leaving just Bekash standing to try and face versus 2, and they are giving him absolutely nothing. He's got the right read of where Yetaje is, but the time now becomes the 3rd member of FUT, and it's Mr. Fallen. Have the operator himself, and Prox has had to drop down to an SMG. A lot of positions on this map where they can hold value. One of them is exactly where he has ended up, taking that control into Hookah. They do have Thrash available, but Nightfall on the other side likely to have more impact. And with the spike still down on the ground, it seems like, at least for now, FUT are just happy to feel out the map, watch for any aggression, and then decide where they want to go at the end of it all.
Throughout that first half, FUT only managed to string together 2 rounds at the very end. Round 11 and 12 of half number 1. It was a shaky performance. They can't afford to start as slow this time around. TP taken, comeback seized, and he will get right on out of there. Quick teleport back to the other side. This means a slow retake on this B site with no advantage to play with. And smoke's down on elbow, but nothing blooming for the spawn. Mates have a read. They know this is likely being held. Do they know it's by the operator? Well, now they certainly do. A trade from Mini. Every time they need him, he is there. This round would put FUT to bed, crush them. And with Mr. Fallen by the wayside, this is looking like it could be the downfall. Cned'i steps up for 3, and Yeni closes it out. The classic, even used by Cned'i after that op shot.
They're going to try and stem the bleeding a little early. They've had opportunities. Well, the last round should have been theirs, but this one comes down to the wire. And ends up just being actually Mini trying to swing to help. It's
Got that spark in him.
Where's the comeback about to go?
Passion for Mates. Look at this. 3 players running it down, and Cned'i ready to greet them.
I was looking at the stinger that's been brought up by comeback, but in reality, it was the rest of the team that was the one to get aggressive. Look to now try and join his teammate within the site, but that collateral should have been enough already to end this round. One of the ults went with it, but as said, I don't really expect to see any of them thrown in for the side of Mates in this round.
Well, not after those picks as well. Even coming in, they found an opening, there'd be a chance. Nice shot, but the weaponry's not quite there for him. Come back straight through the TP. He'll be refracting to the site. They haven't quite walked out to meet him. And Prox, it seems he's gotten the collateral. 2 players down. It was 2 separated, but even still, that Sheriff, it showed up. But they will fight for that bath control. A smoke into heaven should easily block out any of Prox's vision. It'll be Kamek on the site. He has to be the one to defend Mini's back as he holds down that pit from within. Showstopper put through as well. They know that Mini was sprinting away. He's even caught 2! Full blind! And it's the Showstopper needed to put him to bed, but that won't stop Gentlemates. They leave Cned'i and Mr. Fallen in a 2v4, but it quickly flips back into FUT's favor, I suppose. The damage done to Cned'i is massive, but with an op and a TP for the plant, this is opening a huge opportunity. Mr. Fallen, he's on the backstab, but Cned'i has to survive.
Yeah, he has. Manages to dodge Convergence path. I think he's been spotted, but it's given time. Come back though. He has the read. A genius realizes that it's been too quiet from the other player, and now Cned'i left on a minuscule amount of HP will go down. It was
the Showstopper sent in to finally deal with Mini, but in the process, the door opens for that wraparound from Kamek. It's those 2 shots that made this possible. But it was that one from
back was what made all the difference, and while Prox fighting forward, I think he got a glimpse. He did get a glimpse. And this man's headshot percentage, I feel like it's got to be up there. It seems like headshot or bust for him. Comeback, not over-facing, not over-aggressing. Will get out after that man advantage, and while TP is now going to be taken, but I feel like a lot of this is just FUT trying to sell the idea they're going back, but with the Vipers pick committed, I guess they are.
Yeah, the spike's here now. 3 players on this side of the map. Cned'i left behind to catch over aggression, but he sees nothing. They can easily TP. They can easily go back to B, and the hope here is that they've drawn the eyes of all these players, but those steps are heard. This is a clear signal to Gentlemates that the push is not coming in on this B side.
30
Smoke
seconds
seems
left.
to have kept them for a moment, though. Comeback cancels his rotation. It puts the pressure onto these players that are waiting, but Vekash unmoving in that hold of Hookah. He'll find Cned'i, and waiting inside Hookah is Prox. They thought it was just a man outside, but not quite. This will be the end of map number 1, the choice of FUT, and it's Gentlemates to dominate.